Rookie minicamps rolling out across the NFL. You're getting a peek in at Abdul Carter. You'll see him there rocking that number 51. He was struggling to find a number, and he settled on 51, taking a number from a couple of Giants legends in the building. We also see Jaxson Dart, Skattebo ready to make names for themselves on a Giants team that desperately needs some playmakers as Brian Daboll's seat continues to get warmer and warmer. We normally see Madelyn Burke over on our CBS Sports HQ platform in Connecticut, but she joins us now from Giants Minicamp because that is her other job. What's up, Maddie? Thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
Let's start with these rookies. We're going to pick up the conversation with Jaxson Dart. There was a video of him meeting with Brian Daboll, and they're going through, some plays, typical quarterback coach meeting there, and Brian Daboll said that he was really, really impressed. What have you seen out of him that's led you to see that confidence that Brian Daboll has in the quarterback early on here?
Yeah, as you saw, I'm sure that clip that's going all over social media from Giants Life, which is the Giants in-house, behind-the-scenes draft process, their own version of Hard Knocks. Brian Daboll takes quarterback evaluation very seriously, and he tests quarterback prospects quite a bit. And you saw how impressed he was with how quickly Jaxson Dart was able to answer these questions and to remember the things that Daboll had told him and taught him about the Giants offense. And that's something that's really echoed throughout the Giants minicamp. I mean, yesterday we heard Skattebo, the rookie running back, talking about how smart Jaxson Dart is. And when asked, okay, well, what are you seeing that says he's a smart guy? And he says, when you're coming in here as a rookie and the coach is asking you questions and you're answering them so quickly and able to recall that information with such speed and such accuracy, that's something that, okay, this guy's really smart. He's been in his books. And now, of course, we've seen him throwing. They're doing a lot of 7-on-7 and individual drills. So throwing against no pass rush is one thing, but, you don't want to get your hopes up too high. But it's definitely been something that Brian Daboll and this coaching staff and the organization is excited to see and to watch him grow and develop.
Have they given you any insight as far as what it's going to look like in year one for him? I know a lot of people have said that it's a good chance for him to sit back and learn behind Jameis and Russ, but are you getting any insight or information there about what we can expect out of him in 25?
Well, I think you don't go out and sign a Jameis Winston and a Russell Wilson if you expect your rookie quarterback to start week one, right? And it's a good position for him to be in. It's a no-pressure position, and it's some really talented guys. I mean, Russell Wilson has won a Super Bowl at MetLife Stadium. He's a Super Bowl winning quarterback, a very talented quarterback with a lot of time and in this league. And then Jameis Winston is a guy that Jaxson Dart has a relationship with and has long admired his work ethic and his process. So Dart is in a position where he can sit back and absorb and learn from these veterans and not have to take the field until they think he's ready and until it's for what's best for the team. Now, that being said, Dart said yesterday, he goes, I've never sat before, and not in a negative way. He's just asked, when was the last time you were sitting behind a starting quarterback? And he's like, I haven't. Not middle school, not high school. No, I haven't. And so it's going to be a new process for Dart, but he's going into this saying, listen, I'm here to learn and to help the team win in whatever way I can. And he knows that there's no urgency for him to get out there week one, but he is out there getting in his books and doing what he can to be the best asset for this Giants quarterback room.
I love the necklace he's rocking, too. I think I read where he got it from his little sister's bedroom, and now his brother wants to wear one, too. So bringing all the aura out there to Giants Minicamp. Let's go over to the defense.
It's a lot of confidence to steal your sister's necklace and be like, oh yeah, this I stole from my little sister.
Yeah, I know, especially to speak about it so openly too. That's a great point there. But hey, if it looks good, it looks good. I'm glad she's letting him borrow it. Let's go over to the defensive side of the ball here, Maddie, because as poor as the offense was last year, the defense actually was kind of a bright spot there. They found ways to get at opposing quarterbacks, and then you add Abdul Carter into the mix, who's trying to make a name for himself as well. I know the number saga has been quite a journey for him, but how have you seen him sort of settle in and start to maybe stand out?
Listen, it's tough joining a Giants organization with so much history of success that they have so many retired numbers, right? Number 11, which he wore in college, is retired because of two-time Super Bowl champion Phil Simms. You've got number 56 for his long-admired Lawrence Taylor, but also that's retired. And so he kind of meshed them together and got the 5 from Lawrence Taylor, the 1 from the 11, and got 51. It's a great number. It's a good vintage linebacker number, and it's going to kind of reflect the way that he's playing out here as a member of the New York Giants. He's so far, from what we've seen on the field, he is exactly what you think you're getting out of Abdul Carter. He is a physical guy, he is fast, he is quick, and he's also been all over the field. You know, he's been working with the outside linebackers, he's been doing a little bit of special teams, and he said, listen, I want to be available in any way I possibly can. Somebody asked him, so you could play all 11 positions? He goes, well, maybe not all 11, but you know what? He's going to be all over the field, and that's what the Giants want to see. I mean, you look at the way the Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl last year, and a lot of it was from the success of getting after the quarterback, and the Giants really prioritized elevating that pass rush and drafting Abdul Carter and also Darius Alexander in the third round, a big guy on that defensive line, shoring up that defense and strengthening the defense, which, as you said, Haley, was a strong point of this Giants team last season, is going to help them in pursuing their goals of improvement.
All right, we'll keep our eye on the defense, and he could make his own name with that number 51, and then everyone's going to want to wear the 51 in a couple of years. Let's talk about Cam Skattebo, a guy who, I don't know if you know this, Maddie, but my husband went to Arizona State, and so I've known about this guy. There we go.
As did I.
For quite a few years now. Cam Skattebo, one of the most emotional, raw moments we saw when he got that call from the Giants that he was going to get drafted there. He's always sort of had this chip on his shoulder no matter when or where he has played. Have you seen that carry over into rookie minicamp?
Absolutely. And he was asked about the chip on his shoulder yesterday, and he said, you know, listen, how many plays have you seen me make in the National Football League? 0, right? I have proven nothing yet. I've only proven my success at the college level, at the high school level. I have nothing. I have proven nothing, and I'm ready to prove it now. And he's, you know, talked about the physicality of his game. You know, when I interviewed him after he was drafted, we talked about how when he was 6 years old, he used to put on his brother's football pads and just run into telephone poles. Like, this is a guy who loves the physicality of football, and he is a wrecking ball in the game. But he's also not just a physical player, he's also a pass catcher. He talked about how his dad was a wide receiver and really emphasized the importance of him having good hands. It's not something that we saw hyper utilized in his game at Arizona State, especially last year, but it is something that he can do, and that we've seen him getting involved in the passing attack already, or passing game in 7-on-7s in this rookie mini camp so far. And he's got a lot of just that vintage physicality, which is why I love that he's wearing 44. He's got that John Riggins kind of energy, or people on Twitter are calling him Vanilla Bradshaw. We'll see if 44 is the number he sticks with. Of course, he wore 4 in college. That number also retired by the Giants. But 44, solid physical linebacker number, or running back number. We'll see if he keeps it.
I don't know what was more surprising, the fact that you said he used to borrow his brother's pads to run into telephone poles, or seeing like the size discrepancy between him and Abdul Carter there. He is just a ball of fun. I'm looking forward to rooting for him, even though I'm a Cowboys fan, as you know, but we're a split household, so we got to share the fandom there. So, Maddie, it kind of seems like things are coming together from the rookie side of things, but this is, as we know, very, very early into the NFL season coming up in 25, and it's no secret that the front office, Brian Daboll even, are all on the hot seat after what has just been kind of a rough couple of years for the Giants. The numbers there speak for themselves, and it seems like kind of an obvious question, so I'll pose it this way. How are Brian Daboll and even Joe Schoen embracing that sort of pressure moment that they're facing right now in 25?
I think they're just moving forward because they can't really think about it that way at this point. You know, in their roles, they got to look at, let's do what we can to help this Giants team win. I think the front office has done a great job with this draft class. They've done a really good job of getting them out of a sticky cap situation. So now that they're in more of a position to draft for best available player as opposed to need. And they've built a really strong young team, especially on defense, as you alluded to, if that translates to wins, because that's a point of emphasis. You know, we heard at the end of last season, of course, John Mara talked about frustrations at a lot of positions, but one of the things he pointed out was, hey, I'm sick of seeing teams run up and down and score on us. I want to see the defense get better. That's something that this front office really addressed in the offseason, whether through the draft or free agency, and it's something that we will see how it translates once the games are being played. Because right now, as you know, at this time of year, you know, running around in shorts against no pressure, you're not really seeing what the team is going to look like, but there's a lot of hope, a lot of optimism, and I think that that's really what they're going to focus on is, okay, this is going the direction. It's a long plan. It's a long rebuild process. This is heading the direction that they want it to go. We'll see if that translates on the field when the games start in September.
Mike McDaniel, head coach of the Dolphins, yesterday when they had their mini camp and the media out, reminded all of the reporters that, hey, this is mini camp. This is rookies. More importantly, we don't know what our team is going to look like just yet. So keep that in mind when you're watching. Madelyn Burke, we certainly appreciate the time. Nice to see you and a change of scenery there. Hopefully we can catch you on HQ here, though, pretty soon. Here's a look at the Giants' 2025 opponents. Of course, we know who they're going to play, but the big question here is when are they going to play them? Schedule release coming out next week. That is May 14th, Wednesday, I believe, at 8 p.m. as well. We know the 2 division games that they'll get in the NFC East, but you've also got games against the Packers, the Chiefs. That'll be a good test there. And then, of course, their away games featuring the Broncos, Lions, Bears, and the Saints, who are now without Derek Carr.